and welcome to this webinar. Today is understanding about AI, UI, UX, and how AI plays a role in design. If you're here on Zoom, just leave a hi on the chat with your name and the city. My name is Aparna and I am streaming from Bangalore.
Hi, my name is Suryansh and I'm streaming from Gurgaon.
Hi, Suryansh. That's Suryansh for you. Naveen from Chennai. People on YouTube, also leave us a hi. We're live there as well.
We got people from Pune, from Pakistan.
Correct. Yes, hi everyone.
We have got one lucky person. He's joining from Goa.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Keep those introductions coming. Okay, Nitin from Gurgaon, Ramyashri from Hyderabad, Shubhangi from Raebareli. Hi everyone. Good evening. We're also streaming live on YouTube, so just leave us a hi there. And we'll get started in a couple of minutes. Okay, so Ranjana from New Delhi. Hi everyone. Just going to share my screen. Yes, so you all know this is going to be the agenda for today. You are going to understand about this new job role, AI UI UX designer. And we'll also understand about the IIIT B UI UX program, how this program helps you leverage AI in UI UX design and gets you future ready for roles that are coming up in this field, right? So you'll also understand how past learners leverage this course, enrollment steps, and towards the end, we'll take questions, okay? So you know the ground rules already. If you have questions related to what is being talked about, just leave the questions on the Q&A box instead of the chat box, because sometimes we may miss these questions. Okay, so remember that the session is being recorded. So let's say you have an issue or something, please make sure you reach out at webinars@simplilearn.net. If you stay till the end of the session, you will receive a recording link and a webinar certificate in the next couple of days. Okay, so you can use this certificate. It looks something similar to this. You can use this certificate and post on LinkedIn as well. But remember, you will have to stay till the end and provide us your name, your full name, for us to give you this certificate. Yeah. So that's the agenda for today, and I hope the ground rules are clear. Remember, any questions related to the session, please put them on the Q&A box related to your career, to leveraging UAI, or how to start a career in UI UX, anything of that sort. Put it on the Q&A box. The chat box we'll restrict to interactions during the session that Suryansh has. Okay, great. Now, a little bit about Simplilearn. Simplilearn offers digital skills in multiple domains, including UI, UX, product management, and also other domains like project management, tech, data, AI, ML, a lot of them. So you can head on to simplilearn.com to check out our portfolio of courses. And today, towards the end, we'll also talk about the UI, UX courses. Yes? Okay. Great. So we have Suryansh, who's our expert trainer today. Suryansh, if you could quickly introduce yourself.
Sure, learners. Hello, learners. I see a good number of different cities. I saw someone from Mumbai. Those who are from Mumbai, I did my education from Mumbai. I am a pass out of Nasi Munji from Mumbai, did my MBA from there. Is anyone from South India? I was there for a couple of years working in Bangalore at Accenture. That's how I began my career in product. I was heading a product which was like an internal Google of whatever Accenture develops. All right. So that's how I started my career. And during COVID, I moved out and I realized that I could start something on my own which was my own EdTech startup. We developed a couple of platforms for student feedbacks. That's how things started rolling. And I'm very happy to say that I've been associated with Simplilearn for the past 4 years or 3 years. And we have been constantly engaged all weekends, back to back sessions on product, and love conducting webinars with you learners. Over to you, Aparna.
Great. Great. Thanks, Suryansh, for that introduction. Now, just so that Suryansh knows you guys a little better, we're going to launch a very quick poll asking your experience. So you see this poll on Zoom. If you've joined us on YouTube, please put the answers on the live chat, and I'm going to keep the poll live for exactly 1 minute. This is for remember, you have to answer the poll, Puneet. We will collect the names towards the end. Okay, thanks so much for sharing name of your city. Yes, so another 30 seconds and the poll will end. Great. Great. Okay, so I'll just end the poll here, and here you go, Suryansh. These are your results. So we've
All
got,
right.
yeah, a
So we've
lot of
got
them.
good number of learners who've got less than 2 years of experience. We've got more than 10
Yeah,
years of experience as well, and a good mix and match of 2 to 5 and 6 to 10. All right, I think that's a
correct.
good, what do you say, mix and match of all learners
Yes,
present today, Aparna.
yes, correct. So I'll just hand over the screen to you now.
Sure.
You to
All
share.
right. Thanks. Learners, you know what? I'm going to draw something. Uh, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm horrible at drawing. So you need to tell me what's happening on the screen. All right. And then I'll give you what actually I was trying to do. Hey, learners, screen's visible. Just let me know in the chat box. All right. Thank you. Now, learners, just have a look what I'm trying to draw. What is it, learners, that I'm trying to draw over here? Can anyone give an answer in the chat box? What am I trying to draw? Let's see who can answer it in the chat box. Gmail. I think, Aparna, we've got brilliant people in the session today. Many of them have been able to draw, have been able to answer correctly. It's a mailbox, right? You know what?
Correct.
This drawing, I believe anyone can draw, right? Maybe you can draw better than me. The job of what we're going to learn today is UI UX. The job of the person is to take you from what I just showed you to what you're seeing now, learners. That's the journey that we cover. In today's session, learners, we're going to talk about a role. We're going to see how AI is helping to enhance or support that role so that from a crude drawing like this, you go on to what you just saw on Gmail. That's in brief what UI UX designer does. These are the people who bring life to whatever ideas, whatever crude drawings, whatever prototypes of wireframes, whatever we call them, we have them. UI UX people bring life in them. I'll give you a small story over there. That's how it all began for me when I was in Accenture. We had someone known as leadership. All right. Now, learners, what they would do is they're sitting over here and they would bombard us with lots and lots of ideas. Right. Now they would say that, why don't you have patents filed by Accenture? Why don't you have new products made by Accenture? Why don't you have our partner products? For example, we make a lot of things with SAP. We make a lot of things with Oracle. So why don't you have all of these on the portal that we are talking of? Right. What we used to do as product managers, we would take all of these ideas and we would make crude drawings just like I showed you over here. All right. Now, just in case you're wondering, do I love my job? Did I love my job or not? I loved my job. That's the reason I didn't show these crew drawings over to the leadership. What we would do is we would simply create something known as these drawings or wireframes. which would show how these products would be present, and then we would hand it over to a UI UX person. This person, with all his or her experience, would add beautiful color themes, which you call, okay, they would add font sizes, they would add placements, and from a very, very simple drawing, you would touch and feel how the final product would look like. Just as you see on Gmail, just as let's say you see on Zoom, just as you see on any other tech product. And once that was done, that's when we would show it that, this is how our product or this is how our platform would look like. So this was how UI UX people would come in the picture. And once they would come in the picture, they would be the ones, if they do their job well, then only the product would get into development. Learners, if you were clear with this story, just quickly type yes in the chat box. That's Suryansh, we understood the story, whatever, you just narrated. Go ahead. All right, that's great. Now, learners, I would request you to let me know, or if possible, why don't you do this right now? Open LinkedIn. If you have it on your phone, just open LinkedIn app. All right. Now, open Instagram if you have Instagram, or if you have Facebook, or maybe if you've got Snapchat, just quickly open them. And now tell me one thing. Do you see an option called plus? Maybe that could be to add a new Insta story. Maybe you could see that to add a new LinkedIn post. Yes or no, learners? Quickly tell me yes or no. Right? That's great. Now, learners, where is that plus sign present on LinkedIn? Obviously, LinkedIn will have a plus sign, right? Open your LinkedIn app, and for example, I'm also doing the same. Just let me know top right. Okay, he's saying that top right, on top right, right? Where is it present on Instagram? Mostly at the bottom. Okay. Now, learners, whatever we are seeing, the location of the plus sign. At the same time, do you notice one more thing? On your LinkedIn, the profile picture, your profile picture, which is there on the top left corner, and the stories that you see on Instagram, which shape are they all in? What's the shape? Anyone can answer in the chat box. Circle, right? Circular. They all are circular, right? Isn't it a coincidence that Snapchat stories circle, LinkedIn, your profile picture circle, Instagram, new stories circle? Do you see some kind of similarities existing? Correct. Reasons could be there. All I want to suggest is there are reasons that go behind this, and those reasons, those placements, they all are taken care by the UI UX person. I'll quickly go to the next slide so that we have a good warm up of who this person is. I think till now we are very clear that this person is someone who obviously will understand what any user is trying to do. Whenever you have a plus sign, or let's say you have a circle which says I want to view a story. Similarly, we have this new word called AI. Now, learners, let's have a small demo again. See, the entire session I'll keep it with lots and lots of demos, personal experience, and the products that you use. All right. Let's say, learners, here's a scenario. The scenario is that today we have to make, let's say, a platform which is a learning management system, all right, LMS, for an engineering college. We would like to know, we'd like to see some designs. Sometime back, the same thing could be done using a pen and a paper, taking reference from competitors or whatever themes exist in the market. Today, in this session, we're going to use a very simple tool called GenCraft. Hi. Now, let's say I would like to have this. We want to have a design of home page of learning management system for an engineering college. showing, let's say, we can have showing student data and profile. Let's keep it this way, and then let's see what happens. Uh-huh. We have got a design already with us. Therefore, learners, we see tools like these obviously cannot be taken as it is. They help a UI UX designer to perform their role a little faster. All right. Now, learners, if you're clear with this till now, quickly type yes in the chat box. I'll wait for your answers and then I'll go to the next one. Now, learners, I'll come back to the previous scenario. Let's say today we have got people from all over the country and we've got people from outside India as well. We have a situation wherein someone says that, Suryansh, you just told that in your Accenture career, you wanted to add patents, you wanted to add, let's say, new products, you wanted to add SAP Oracle products and services. What I feel, Suryansh, that patents should come on top first because they show how innovative your company is. Then your partner products and services, maybe SAP Oracle can come. And at the bottom, you can show what your products or whatever products you have made internally. I think that's how it should work. All right. Okay. And I also feel that, Suryansh, since you are making a platform which is for all sales representatives or all innovation teams in Accenture, I believe it should have a login feature as well, wherein I can log in and I can have a customizable home screen. Wherein, let's say, if we've got someone, let's say, Vigier, he says that, I'm from manufacturing industry and I would like to know some manufacturing products that you have made. So I'll have only the manufacturing products. The UI UX person will listen to all of this very carefully. All right. And he will have a look at all your drawings, whatever you have made. Once he is done, which place, what should come? There are certain terms which you will learn as you proceed. They are called paneer tikka. They are called hamburger. These all are terms that designers usually use. Then they are going to fit whatever you have told in these terminologies. What color it should be, what thing should come first. Okay, if we are, let's say, put forwarding patents first and there are 10 patents, how should it work? Whether it should be in the form of a grid or whether it should be in the form of a drop down. These all discussions and answers are taken care by the UI UX designer. Therefore, he holds responsibilities of prototyping. That means he is the one who's going to show you how your platform would look after development has taken place. And developers or coders, learners will blindly follow what UI UX person has told. So if he or she is saying the font is this, color is this, placement is this is a drop down, they'll follow word to word. Therefore, this person, you can say that, make or break the ship. Now, we've seen multiple words related to AI, right? It says AI integration, which says continuous optimization, utilizing AI to gather user data and continuously improve the design. I'll take a moment over here and I'll show you another tech product, which is something that I use a lot, which is ET Prime. All right. Now, now, learners, do you see something known as investment ideas on this left side over there? It says investment ideas on the left side. Do you see that? Yes or no? Okay. Now, since I've been reading a lot on recent stock market happenings, this section has come up for me now. I didn't find it some time back. Now, as I proceed, I see back to back all investment ideas and stories. Now, let me tell you, nobody has coded it just because I was doing it. It was auto generated because of my previous data tracking. Therefore, you'll play a lot with working of data, uses data, and how do you integrate in your design part. I'll elaborate more as we proceed, but if you're getting through different examples, just keep typing yes in the chat box. Now I'll come to something, again, practical cases that we'll discuss. All, all of you with me? Yes or no? Just type yes in the chat box if you're with me. Okay. Now, here's a scenario. Here's a scenario. It says the simple reason why are they in demand. I'll tell you honestly, a single UI UX designer, because I was a product manager and I had a lot of work to do with a single product. However, this UI UX person learners, they do not work with one or two products at a time. So I'll tell you, this is how I'll give you a small brief on how your career will work. When you are working as a product manager in Accenture or in any of the tech firms, you're given a product and you're supposed to take care of it. That's it. Whatever new requirements are there, whatever bugs are there, whatever issues are there, whatever user feedback is coming, it will keep you involved at this particular junction. And this product will obviously will have a head, or you could say a lead. This person is going to monitor your performance. So when let's say appraisal time comes, he will or she will decide where you stand. Consider the scenario of a UI UX person. They do not work with one product. They'll create a beautiful design of, let's say, product one, move on to product two, move on to product three. In a single year, they could work on as many as 20 to 25 different projects. And when that happens, all of this adds on to their appraisal season. That's the reason whenever as product managers we would look at UI UX designers appraisal, they would always be much ahead or better than any other, let's say, different professions that we had. Therefore, you get a chance to work in multiple projects at one point of time. Because you work in multiple projects, you're in huge demand. However, the supply is very limited. The reason is other professions related to product and all, they require good communication skills and then you can sail through well with some knowledge. However, in this scenario, the level of skills that are needed as we'll proceed, there are a lot of things related to different tools, tech, creativity. That's the reason the supply of good UI UX designers is limited. I'll just go to the next one, learners. This is just a small brief of what we are seeing. There are around 21 tools or so that maybe I'll show you why the as we proceed with different slides that you get exposure to. And I'll tell you how the recruitment works. Many a times when UI UX designers are being recruited, straight away in the job description, certain tools are mentioned. For example, you should be well versed with Balsamic, or you should be well versed with Figma, TensorFlow, or let's say nowadays we have got OpenAI. Therefore, learners, maximum number of tools you are aware of, better chance you have of getting placed. Although many of the tools are similar, just that different organizations use different tools. Therefore, your knowledge at all tools gets you a better fighting chance. Over to you, Aparna.
Yeah, thanks, Suryansh, for that
I'll just stop.
engaging interaction.
So I'll just
Yeah,
stop sharing, and maybe you can continue.
right. So exactly what Suryansh was mentioning, just continuing from where he left. Now we'd love to see your answers on this question. So now that you understand all about the tools, techniques, and how you can build engaging products, engaging designs, I would love to understand what is exactly stopping you from becoming a UI UX expert. So people on YouTube are also listening very actively to you. So I'll also want people from YouTube to respond to this question on the live chat. People on Zoom, please use the poll. And as always, we'll keep the poll live just for 1 minute to see what your concern is. And pretty clear, most of you feel you don't have practical exposure, but I'll let the poll be for a while. Yeah, please use the poll and not the chat box. Uh, Yashwant, if you can put the question on the Q&A box, Suryansh will be able to answer it. because we might get more of these questions and we might miss yours, please use the Q&A box and we'll answer them towards the end. And if there are any more questions, guys, please use the Q&A box again.
Learners, keep your questions sending in the Q&A box. We'll have good amount of time to discuss all of them.
Yes, yes, yes. So do not worry. Nothing, none of it will go unanswered. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the poll here and also share the results with Suryansh. So Suryansh, you can see that more than half of them feel they don't have the practical exposure they need to become job ready, which is essential, I think, for a job role like UI UX designer. They need to be practically aware of the tools, especially, and how to use them uh, before even attending an interview. Right. So that is where this particular course comes into picture. And it's not just about the practical exposure, it is also giving you the relevant skills. So we'll talk about that in a while, but just a quick summary of the course. So, along with a curriculum that is designed to make you ready for what's coming up in the future and also ready to give you that hands on exposure, you will have live interactions with experts who are from IIIT B itself. So you will get to interact and ask your questions live and as well as interact with your peers. So there are also module and assignments, activities, projects, and quizzes to enable practical learning. And the best part is that it fits your lifestyle and work schedule. So, of course, this program is 5 months long, but all you need to dedicate is 3 to 5 hours per week. Yeah. So this is suitable to anyone who's getting started, who's already has some background in the UI UX field. So anyone can take up this course. Just a little bit about how IIIT shapes this whole course. One is that you get certificate, co-branded with IIIT B and Simplilearn. So you get that, which enhances your credibility immensely. And secondly, along with other masterclasses, you get masterclasses from IIIT B faculty, and all your project reviews, like I said, because program advisors are from IIIT Bangalore, you will be able to get your projects assessed from them. Yes. So remember what I said about the curriculum, and we'll go, in depth into the curriculum in a while. But the curriculum incorporates how Gen AI influences UI UX design. You'll also understand tools, Gen AI powered design tools, which also include AR, VR in UI UX design, right? So that is why I said that this course makes you future ready and not just offers the practical exposure that you feel you're lacking. Okay, so remember what I said about eligibility. You don't have to be from a certain background to become a part of this course. Of course, some work experience is preferred. It's not mandatory, but all you need is a graduation or a diploma in any field with 50% of pass marks. So I'll take you through the enrollment steps. That's where your profile is shortlisted and then you're offered an admission. So that in a bit, but before that, Suryansh, if you could just take them through the curriculum
Sure.
of
I'll
this
just close
course.
this
Yeah.
poll now. Now, learners, just give me a
Yeah.
moment before, Aparna, I think I'll quickly screen share.
Yes, yes, you can. I'll just stop my screen share. Yes.
Okay, we are here now. Now, learners, let me tell you something. Here you go. Screen is visible, learners? Just let me know in the chat box. All right. Learners, whatever we're gonna learn together, let's say whatever topics we'll be seeing, whatever things we're gonna learn together, remember one thing, that everything will be backed by an activity. Let's say you learn something related to, very simple example we'll take. You learn that today, Suryansh, I learned how to play around with Figma. All right. Now, how the journey would work, learners, is you played around with Figma. That's great. Your learning's done. It moves on to something known as activity. Activity will take, most probably it will be a clothing brand, as far as I can recollect. We usually keep changing, but I think this one will be related to a clothing brand, something like Myntra. All right. We'll take that example, and whatever you have learned over here, you'll be given a problem statement. All right. That problem statement you need to solve using whatever you have learned in that module. And obviously, there would be a mentor with you to help you out. Therefore, learners, anytime a particular module is finished, always remember that module will have certain tools. Could be Figma, could be Sketch, could be, let's say, Balsamic, Google Analytics, anything. And that particular module will end once you have solved that problem statement with a mentor to help you. All right. I just wanted to add on, Aparna, as we had discussed it just, I just wanted to add that line. Let's see, learners. We have a small slide which says that we have got this kind of a ladder that we'll be climbing. Cool. Consider this scenario, learners, that today you do not have any tech background. You're from, let's say, finance, HR, because that's how many a times we have learners. They're from hardware, they're from finance, marketing. That's the reason we begin with something pretty simple, which is let's have fun, because that's all design thinking is all about. Let's have fun. Small, very easy to understand orientation. And once you're clear with what you're supposed to do as a UI UX designer, you jump on to all of your activities and tools. Therefore, applying user research to design, figure out your activities, wireframing, Figma, prototyping. Again, we'll be covering Figma, Balsamic. As you go around to the next phase, learners, whatever you have made, as I told you earlier, will be evaluated by a mentor. That's the reason we have a mentorship project. Therefore, you have your evaluation. Now, at the same time, once you have completed I'll tell you this practical example. When our UI UX designer would finish their designing part, their job doesn't end there. They get in a call with me, and then they try to explain every aspect that they have introduced. For example, they would say that Suryansh, the number of options were big. That's the reason we didn't have grade. We have a drop down over here. Suryansh, as you mentioned this requirement in the last, that's the reason it's not there on the front page. You need to click over here, and then that's when you'll get to that requirement. Therefore, learners, handing over of projects over here, project handoff and stakeholder management again comes into play. Now, learners, do you remember I just mentioned that all of you will be having activities backed by some of the tools at every module? Yes or no? All of this will add together to something known as a design portfolio. Most probably, we are using Dribble for this. What happens over here, learners? All your design portfolios are collected and you have your own portfolio present on Dribble. That's where you can share it with your prospect recruiters. That means, learners, after every module, you're not only completing that module to get the certificate in the end of this course, your portfolio is also being built. That's why once your course is over, the moment the course gets over, you have all your designs present as a part of your portfolio ready. This is a big add-on, learners, because I saw many of you had this concern that Suryansh, we don't have any practical exposure. I agree that you will not be able to show any client or practical exposure when you apply for these roles. I completely agree. But this kind of a design portfolio bagged, especially with 21 plus tools that are used industry wide, you have a very strong fighting chance, because the moment your resume gets going for selection, they're going to simply search, Figma. They're going to say, okay, have you got any experience with ChatGPT, Gemini, or anything? That's where you manage to filter in. Therefore, learners, you get your design portfolio ready, you get all your tools ready so that you can get screened in for your job. And once you enter the interview board, learners, the entire interview, because you're not experienced in, let's say, this kind of a role, the entire interview, learners, will revolve around your capstone. I'll show you what those capstones are, but any such kind of an interview revolves, okay, you thought that health data can be presented in a better way, maybe Fitbit or Apple Watch, let's say you think that it can be presented in a better way. That's what your capstone was all about. Show me what you have done. That's how your journey will shape, learners. The good part of this, especially this course, is as you compare with others, is that you have tangible output in the form of your portfolio available the moment the course gets over. We have got few electives as well. I'll just highlight one small elective, which is website building. See, when we talk of UI UX developers or designers, as we used to do in Accenture, it was understood that you have some kind of basic knowledge of website building. It was understood that you know HTML, you know CSS, you know JavaScript. These things were considered by default that you are aware. That's the reason this elective again gets you shortlisted so that you can showcase your capstone projects and your portfolios. I think this we've already covered. We've got 21 plus tools that we'll be working with. They also cover AR, VR. Therefore, learners, remember you're going to make activities and problem statements covering AR, VR as well. Now, let's see what we have got over here for capstones. Learners, could you answer in the chat box what fitness app or product do you use? For example, I used to use Nike running app. Go ahead. Any answers from your end? Anyone who uses any Strava? Okay. Go ahead. Any learner can answer that. Okay, I use, okay, Healthify. Perfect. What else, learners? Learners, just in case if you're not using any of these fitness apps, feel free to answer, which almost everyone would be using. Travel. Make my trip. Ixigo. Go ahead. Now start answering. Go ahead, learners. Google Fit. Okay. You can also mention the travel apps that you all are using. Make my trip. Okay. Go Fit. We've got Samsung. Okay. Anyone else would like to answer? Now, learners, if given a chance, at the end of the course, you're given a chance to create your own smart travel assistant app, create your own, what do you say, a personalized fitness coach app. Therefore, learners, implement whatever you have learned over here to see the results. How many of you use Hotstar? DC plus Hotstar, Hotstar. How many of you use? Now, just to add on, Hotstar is made on one of the platforms that was developed by Accenture. Therefore, when we used to have these kind of discussions, so it was the UI UX people who had created that. It was called the Accenture Video Solutions, as far as I can remember. There were two parts. One was video solutions and one was video analytics. So your recommendation would work on video analytics and your streaming platform would work on video solutions. Again, complete UI UX delivery. Therefore, learners, whatever you're learning, whatever you're seeing is actually getting implemented by organizations who hire you. I think, Aparna, you can take it up from here.
Yes, yes, Suryansh. So I'll just quickly take them through the program advisors. So now these are profiles of your program advisors and trainers. So you can see that Amit Prakash is the associate professor at IIIT Bangalore, and Preeti specializes in HCI, and she's also, actively takes part in research at IIIT B. And Dr. Sridhar, he's the faculty in charge of continuing professional education at IIIT B. So they come with immense background in this domain. So you're going to be in best hands, and you're also going to be taken through guided one-on-one with your projects and whatever your activities are, right? So that's, you can also check these profiles on the course page. I'll share the link to them in a while. And now I'm going to take you through the learning environment. So what happens after you enroll in a certain course is, one second, let me share my screen again. Yes. So what happens once you express interest and become a part of our course is, some of you here might have used, our free platform SkillUp, but let's say you are enrolled in this particular course. This is how your environment looks like. So what happens is you are able to track your progress, check the curriculum, all that here. Okay. And you're also able to see what your electives are. Okay, just a quick thing before I enter a certain module, you also have the help section where you can reach out to a success manager who will help you with your queries regarding the course. It can be anything, it can be accessing a certain course, anything that's technical or anything that's related to the course as well. Okay, So this is how your LMS helps, in tracking your progress, helping you prepare and kind of understand what's in store for you in the course. So I'm just going to open up a certain module. And remember that certain modules are completely live. Certain modules have self-learning modules, and that's where you'll be able to download the instructor slides, the demos, or any guided practice. So these are accessible to you. Only the self-learning materials are accessible to you for lifelong. Of course, the live sessions, they're not, they're kind of available to you while the session is going on, but the self-learning is 100% available throughout. And you can use this to take notes, add your own learnings to whatever is going on. And after the course is done, you're able to unlock the certificate. Okay, so that's just a bit about the learning environment. Now, let me help you understand how our past learners leveraged this course and went on to gain success in UI UX, right? So most of you had this issue that you don't have the background or you don't really have the practical exposure. So remember all that Suryansh took you through, that will help you gain or bridge that gap of practical exposure and also apply and get you the confidence to apply for similar jobs. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through some learners who use this program. So you can see Rahul, Vignesh, and Tina kind of use this program, and they went on to pick up job roles in the UI UX domain. So there was one particular learner, Adya, and I'm going to just share her story with you. For that, I would need to share my screen once again. So I'll just quickly play the video and
I think Aparna, you can get the audio on as well and play it from again.
yeah, I'm just going to restart the audio video once again.
Design has always been my passion. But when I got promoted to a role that requires handling a team of UI UX designers, I was taken aback. It was then I realized I needed to upskill myself if I had to supervise my team in the right direction. I chose to pursue advanced certification in UI UX design from IIIT Bangalore, powered by Simplilearn. Now I am more confident. I can handle my team effectively and can deliver ideas to the management. Hi, my name is Adya Agrawal. I am a design and creative lead, and this is my journey. I am from a small town, Durg, which is based out in Chhattisgarh. So I completed my engineering in information technology in 2013. Subsequently, I pursued MTech in computer technology, concluding in 2016. Post this, I moved from Chhattisgarh to Pune and started my career then on. The first company I joined was PLD Edu Training Private Limited as a content developer and researcher. I again switched and joined my present company. Looking at my expertise in this field, my company promoted me to design and creative lead. And then I started handling a team of UI UX designers. I was assigned a huge responsibility of leading the team and to supervise them in the right direction. An advanced UI UX designing course seemed to be the only solution to these problems. I decided to upskill myself with the tools used for designing. I wanted to be updated and lead my team responsibly. So I started browsing online about the UI UX design certification. Then I found that IIIT Bangalore is offering this advanced certification in UI UX design powered by Simplilearn. When I proposed this idea to my manager, he agreed and asked me to pursue the course. My learning experience on UI UX design with Simplilearn was simply great. To be honest, initially when we started the session, I found it too complicated. I was also skeptical about the online classes, but soon after completing 1 month, I found the trainer to be very good. He truly had practical knowledge and expertise in this field. The concepts he explained were illustrated with real life examples, real life problems, and how to solve them. For instance, he gave a clear understanding of what kind of problems companies face and how UX designers can solve them. The trainer was very supportive and quick to solve any of the doubts in the sessions. He spent a lot of time with us explaining how to use Figma in our mobile phones, websites, etc. After the certification course, with the skills I learned, I was able to redesign my company's website, which is helping us to get more traffic and leads at the same time. For the website, I started working on its design and had a very detailed discussion with the manager, content writer, developers, and digital marketing analyst. I had the idea that a well designed website can enhance the user experience. I understood that I have to come up with a simple and clear interface that can help users navigate through the app and they can easily understand the functionality of the platform. Unlike before, now I have a particular reasoning behind my task. I have developed more logical thinking. I can say I have learned how and what exactly user interface is, why exactly user experience matters. I got married in 2019 and I have a kid. She's 3.5 years old. As a married woman and mother, juggling work and personal life was tough. Working 5 days a week and dedicating weekends to a course posed the biggest challenge, leaving me with limited time for my family. I believe in giving 100% on any task. And I feel that in life, when you have the sheer determination to achieve something, nothing can hamper your growth.
Amazing. That's the story of Adya, who used this program. And clearly, she has leveraged the program in her job as well. So
The
that's
global UI UX market is projected to reach.
Sorry. So that's just a bit about one learner, and there are many such learners. I've also shared the link to the course for you to look at. And let's now understand what our learner profiles look like. Okay. So remember that we said that you could be from any background possible. Let me just maximize the screen. One sec. I just quickly. Yes. Yeah, so it's just going to take a while to load, but yeah. Oh, yes. So remember we said that you could be from any particular background. This is the proof. So you can be from design itself, or you could be a developer, marketing, or you could even be a student. So there's an equal mix of who our learners are, right? And they come from these companies. But again, that should not limit you from applying for this particular program. So
That's right. We have got a good mix and match over here.
correct.
From learners who are from all across different fields. And we've seen that learners who, let's say, are not from this in designing or let's say web development field, what usually happens is they turn out to be making, what do you say, better use of this course. Simple reason is because they listen to every word very carefully.
Correct.
Therefore,
Exactly.
they tend to take, let's say, from the learning experience point of view, they tend to learn more, and that obviously translates into better results. Over to you, Aparna. I can continue.
Yeah, yeah. So another highlight here, apart from the practical exposure you get, is the job assist program. So we've got a partnership with IIM Jobs. So you get a 6-month membership of IIM Jobs for free. Along with that, you get resume building assistance. So this is apart from the portfolio that you build as a part of the course. So resume building assistance is mostly on how you can highlight your profile to potential employers and also spotlighting your profile on IIM jobs, right? So, but this, of course, is an assistant sort of. Obviously, your skill and how you perform at the interview matters. So we also offer some interview assistance there in order to, help you become more confident in approaching interview questions relevant to the UI UX field. Okay, so this is apart from what you get in the program. So, like I mentioned, this is how the certificate looks like. So the certificate is from IIIT B, and just to quickly summarize, you learn various design tools, some of which also help you understand how you can use AI in UI UX design. You get access to live sessions from IIIT B faculty. You also get access to master classes and then, of course, hands-on learning through projects and activities. Yes, and not to forget the job assist program as well. Okay, so now that you've understood in detail about the program and you've seen live proof on how this program can not just help you leverage your experience in the current job, but also if you want to switch jobs or become a part of the UI UX domain, we'd love to know if you are interested to join in this program. Now, people on YouTube, we'll take your questions in a while, but if you're interested in the program, you can use the link to the course page. But people on Zoom, I'm going to be launching this poll that asks you, would you like to enroll in this program? So just give a quick yes if you think this program is a good fit. Okay, and we'll have a learning advisor contact you. Now, the reason I sent the course page some time back is that you could also check the course fee there. Some learners may be outside India. Of course, this program is limited to Indian learners only, but let's say you are an Indian living outside and you want to enroll in this course, you could still do that, but you could check the feasibility by checking the course page. That's the reason I shared this. Yeah. Brian, thanks so much for expressing your interest. You could probably convey this to a learning advisor, right? So I'm not sure about which cohort you want to become a part of, what's your timeline like. So maybe have a conversation with your learning advisor and see how it goes. Yeah. But glad that you're taking the action here and trying to upscale and switch to UI UX. Great. So I'll just keep the poll open for a while and I think we'll take questions. Okay, the one question that we always get, Suryansh, is will AI replace UI UX designers? So I think you could answer that. You're on mute.
Thanks, Aparna.
No
I'll tell you
problem.
something. I'll tell you something, learners. See, all your mundane tasks, all right, which do not require use of this, a lot of real estate here, will get replaced.
Hmm.
However, tasks that are pertaining to creativity, innovation,
Yes.
thinking, how to get things done in a way that's not been done till now. There's still a lot of time for any of the tech to reach that stage. All right. Therefore, every design learners, you could take references. For example, today I would like to have my own food tech or food delivery platforms. I can take references from Zomato, Swiggy, Uber Eats, right? Good references. However, I'll still use my brain to come up with some kind of a different design, which, let's say, based on my experience, will enhance a user's experience. I'll give you one very simple example, learners. For all those, because many times we see this that, will AI take this kind of a role or not? I'll give you a very simple task. Go to ChatGPT or Google Gemini and just ask ChatGPT, hey, you know what? Can you quickly tell me brands that are there in the Indian smartphone market above 50,000? Simple question. So what ChatGPT will do, it will give you certain answers. It will give you iPhone. It will give you, let's say, Pixel. It will give you Samsung, OnePlus, right? Mundane task. You could have done this simply by Googling. Now you're using ChatGPT. Now do this. Ask ChatGPT or Google Gemini, if I were to enter this smartphone market with my own smartphone, you know, how can I make it better or what should I do? Then look at the answers. All of those answers would be something that even a school going kid will give you. So they'll say that, have more privacy features. They'll say, have better processing power, have more battery life. But is that something that you should be told or you already know that? Therefore, all your mundane tasks, whomsoever had this doubt, would yes, definitely are in danger. However, these tasks pertaining to using of brain and creativity, it's still a long time for these kind of things to catch up, and especially designing part, it's filled with creativity, so you can be rest assured of this, because nobody would like to copy paste a design from GenCraft or anything, right? You still need a designer who would be answerable for, let's say, why
Absolutely.
is this color, why is this one. I'll tell you one more thing, learners, why it gets even tricky. You know what, if uh, let's consider this example of Zomato learners. I'll just give you another personal example again. It's from my own experience that has come up. When we used to create our platforms in Accenture, every font, every color, let's say today I would like to have green color, or I would like to have blue color on my platform. It was not that I could choose a color and I could put it over there. Big organizations have every bit of font, color, size predefined. And a UI UX person is the one who knows those predefined criterias. If you're going to use Accenture logo on that platform, then that logo itself has to be taken from that set parameters. Therefore,
Right.
they are not only told how to create new designs, in those new designs, they have to already keep the existing color coding of parameters in mind. For example, if you look at, let's say, Bank of Baroda, or let's say you look at Zomato, lots and lots of red every place for Zomato. Swiggy, lots and lots of orange everywhere in Swiggy. So by looking at the product itself, you realize it's Swiggy or is it Zomato. Therefore, very difficult for these kind of AI based platforms to come up to a certain level where they can take away the role of a design. I think there's
Absolutely.
one more question, Aparna, which learner is
Yes.
asking. I think Vedul is asking, saying that, sir, can you please mention list of tools that your UX designer need to learn? Great. Now,
Yes.
Vedul, what I'll do is, Aparna, maybe you can share the screen and show those 21 tools that we have available with
Yeah.
us. It says
Absolutely.
that some say that Adobe XD is not necessary. I'll tell you something. The answer to this lies in the organization. The best way to know this is know as many tools as possible. See, it's like knowing a programming language. The concepts, fundamentals remain same. Concepts, if you're from tech, you may be aware. Looping remains same, no matter you're doing it in Python, you're in Java, you're in C. Let's say you want to write a hello world program, the print word may change, but the entire objective would remain the same. Therefore,
Yes.
knowing one or two tools in starting would take time, but then you will be easily able to catch up. Therefore, do not leave any as such tool, because some people are saying this. It's not a bad idea to know them. At least know them to some extent that you can put it in your resume. This will
Correct.
help you once you're screened in. Then you can mention that I know these things in these tools. Also, what
Mhm.
companies they are looking for designers. I'll tell you something. Big organizations, IT especially, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, they are always on hunt for designers. Always, they're going to slow down their hiring on developers, but they're never going to slow down their hiring on designers. Because I had a team, we're around 12 or 10 people in that team, and each member of that team was handling some other team. So that's how the system worked. We had one UI UX designer, and that person was in so much demand that if that person, let's say, appraisal would come, no, because we all are here for, let's say, career progression, right? So when the appraisal season would come, he would be the one who would be the happiest. That's the
Mhm.
reason. So these companies are always on the lookout, because they need designers to work on multiple projects at one time. Another thing, look for product based companies. Like, we've got upcoming products, for example, Adani One. So that is being made by Adani Digital Labs. That's one company. Another company is product based Tally. It's based out of Bangalore near Electronic City. Extensively they hire, because obviously their role is of a product. Then you've got these, let's say, banks. Usually they have their outsourced to any other IT services organization, but nowadays banks have also started putting up something known as GCCs, which are global capability centers. Right now there are around 1200 or so global capability centers working in India. Go ahead and look for any of these GCCs. You're gonna find ample number of opportunities in GCCs for these kind of roles, because GCCs are set up in India by foreign companies to consider to take care of their tech and other operations. I hope that somewhat answers your question, Vedal.
Yeah, I think it must have answered. Brian has a
Sure, I'll just
slightly
quickly. Yep.
counter.
So it's a
Yeah,
bit of
yeah.
one generative AI cut off the need for Illustrator. Companies would just get a good prompt engineer, which affect the Illustrator job market. Okay, now I'll tell you another personal example, right? Let's say if we were to create using ChatGPT an algorithm, or let's say a prompt to evaluate a given project. Let's consider this example. All right. Let's say I'm a trainer and I have my own startup and I'm like, I've got 100 projects that I need to monitor. It's going to take a lot of time. Let's create a prompt for ChatGPT to get it done. Brian, to create that prompt, you must have a beforehand experience of evaluating 100 projects. That's when you will be able to create that kind of a prompt. Now, you're saying that yes, generative AI could have illustrator companies because a good prompt engineer that would take place, but still the responsibility has to lie with someone, no? Because something goes wrong, or you have a new suggestion, or you have a new thing, a person is always available to have a customizable, let's say, answer as compared to your AI or any other tool available in the market. So now it
Yes.
says, hi, I am into product management. When I hunt for a new age job, one of the condition is what kind of understand learn is. Okay, can you elaborate, Prashant, a little bit more? It says, I am into product management. And when I hunt for a new age job, one of the condition is UI UX in JD.
Mhm.
Then what kind of understanding learn is required to get up to the mark? Now, Prashant, are you looking for a role switching from a product manager to a UI UX designer? Maybe a little bit elaboration would help on that.
Elaboration would help. Okay.
So please, learners, feel free to put down your questions
Please
in
feel free
the
to, yeah, yeah, of
Q&A.
course.
Q&A would be a better one. That's where all learners, they can understand what questions we are taking up. Go ahead, learners.
Exactly. Exactly. And while you're putting in your questions, I'm also going to share these enrollment steps. So you can just fill in an application, get your application reviewed, and after we feel that the admissions panel feels that you've met the criteria, you are offered the admissions offer. Okay, so if you have more questions, please put them on the Q&A poll. Meanwhile, I'm going to launch another poll asking us, telling us how you liked the session. So I'll keep that poll live for a while until we
Okay.
finish the Q&A.
All
Yeah,
right. I think we've got a question from Prashant. He says that
yeah.
Suryansh, my objective is to just get understanding of UI UX, not to switch into the field. Now, Prashant, the best way to get an understanding of UI UX is do that job on your own. I'm not saying professionally. I'm saying you have certain tools that are being used by your UI UX team, or you would have heard about those tools. Get some hands-on experience. I'll tell you another very easy way of doing that. Pick up any tech product that you use. Pick up Netflix, Amazon Prime, WhatsApp, Spotify, anything you prepare. Take up any of the tools that you would have heard about, Figma, Balsamiq. I personally use Balsamiq a lot, right? And using that tool, try to make the design of that tech product as it is, replica of that. Same color theme, same design, same, bifurcations, everything. Now, once you have done for, let's say, multiple tech products, WhatsApp, Netflix, Spotify, you have done that. Next step is see any one product, how you can create a better design. That's how you will learn more. That's how you'll gain more experience. So that's how your understanding would get better. Now we've got another one. Ma'am, already taken the triple ITB certificate, but the AI masterclass
I've
never happened. Maybe
I've replied
yeah,
to her. Yeah,
okay,
that's taken care. Akash has
that's
been
okay.
replied to. Will AI help in making UI processes like information infrastructure?
Okay, they're saying that will AI help in making an UI processes like information architecture? Not exactly, Brian, because
Hmm.
to understand on how to create an architecture and flow, you need to have a detailed discussion with the concerned person. And that detailed discussion, still the confidence lies in a person, not on the machine. Therefore, you'll have a detailed discussion and moreover, you'll have multiple iterations. Also remember, iterations will have add-ons, not again building from scratch. That's the reason, although these tech platforms are catching up pretty fast, still it's going to take a lot of time for, let's say, doing the job of a designer. Because as we just saw, you give them instructions, they'll give you a rough design, so on and so forth. But what color theme, at what places, why do you need that? Many a times, the UI UX person, because of his or her experience, will be able to give you better suggestions. For example, if you're saying that, hey, let's have 4 or 5 different things on the homepage, the person will say, no, if you put 4 or 5 things, it's going to get complicated. The previous experience with our clients show that it's better to keep either one or maximum two things on the landing page. That's where experience counts.
Got
Do we have
it.
any other question? Is not being in a recent near future.
Okay, Yashwant has another question. What if they're not able to submit their projects? So Yashwant, this is mostly related to your course access and also the access to, I mean, the timelines to complete your course. So I think the best person for this is the learning advisor. Please reach out to them, as in type this, or if you have submitted the yes on the poll while I launch the course interest, they should be reaching out to you. Okay. Right. So Vedang has a question. What's the average salary of a UI UX designer? Also, how much is the demand for UI UX?
Okay.
Okay.
For a fresher, I'll tell you something. What will I'll honestly tell you. If you are, because I have seen these people work with me, all right? So now listen to my personal example. It goes like this. If you compare your salary with that of an MBA or with that of, let's say, postgraduate, MS or something, you will feel that initially when you join, you earn less initially. All right, there is a reason for it. Because first thing, usually the MBA guys or MS, they've got some work ex in that field and they have continued to study in that, so they command a higher package. Plus, they have paid a lot of fees. It's MBAs are expensive, right? Now, what happens once you join as a designer? Your basic or whatever salary you're getting is at one side, but since you're working with different products, your appraisal, your hikes, your add-ons, be it in the form of reward points, be it in the form of bonus, be it in the form of faster promotions, are more because the competition is less. Now, this is one part. Second part, if let's say you've joined TCS or you've joined Accenture, right? Your hike would be much better because your base was low. So you started your career, let's say 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs LPA. You started somewhere around that. Let's consider that an example for a very young person. You could easily command 14, 15 the very next couple of years. I've seen that personally happening. Now, this is not where it ends. As a UI UX person, you're always in demand from the outside world. Therefore, these people are very actively involved in freelancing. What they do usually is, see, the role of a UI UX will come in the picture when the product is just in the initial stages. So they're gonna say that we've got all the requirements. You need to create the UI UX for this product. You're gonna simply quote the price that it's, let's say it will take me 1 weekend to get it done, and they usually charge a couple of lakhs for doing something like this. On an average, I can tell you, for creating a very proficient deck. I'm talking of a PPT. That's it. A very proficient deck. You could easily command a couple of lakhs. And if that goes on to designing a website kind of a thing or a platform kind of a thing, you command much more. There are freelancing opportunities apart from the job that you are doing side by side. And obviously you have your portfolio available with you that helps you getting more and more, what do you say, freelancing clients. So this is just an overview that I have personally seen working with UI UX.
One more question. How do you see UI UX shaping the transition of print media to digital media, especially in the news industry?
See, now
Okay.
if you'll consider this as an example, let's say uh, long time back when I was in school, we had this. I used to get suggestions from my teachers at Suryansh. Watch English news channel more. They're gonna make you even better. I said, okay. And when I joined my MBA, our MBA, especially finance faculty, would emphasize on reading Economic Times on a daily basis. All right. That's how we had this print and we had this television available with us. Today,
Yeah.
Rakesh, what has happened is these news companies, instead of me simply being delivering you daily updates on what is happening in the world, they have become a center for your learning. Consider the case of Economic Times. They are no longer a simple news platform providing you business news. No, that time's gone. they have their own, let's say, loyalty plan or a membership, which is called ET Prime, which encompasses your stock market insights, your, let's say, curated articles, newsletters, which are not news, which are in-depth analysis. So there's been a transition from becoming a news company to a media agency, which is delivering in-depth analysis. And all that is further giving rise to more and more information being distributed in a very compact manner. Therefore,
Right.
ET has its own loyalty plan, ET Prime. Financial Express has launched its similar part because they realize print may or may not sustain in the coming years. Digital is booming. What Economic Times further did, they segregated, Times of India segregated in two companies. One handles print, they made an entirely new company called Times Internet, which takes care entirely on digital initiatives. Therefore, that's how these things are changing. And coming to your point is they are moving more from only being a print company to having their own platforms for an in-depth analysis, then charging you loyalty membership so that you get better analysis and better insights. I can tell you because I'm an active reader. So that's how I've seen
Perfect.
these things change.
Right. Great. I think we're almost done. So the reason I shared this slide is that people can take a look at when the cohort starts, and also they could check the course details on the link that I shared or also from this QR code. Right. So I think we're done here. I'll just launch quickly the certificate poll. You can submit your names. This is how your certificate will look like. So you could also share the certificate once you receive it on social media platforms and tag Suryansh there. Um, Thanks, Suryansh, for your time today. It was an amazing session as always, and it's
Thank you,
great to
learners. It's
listen to
been,
your
yes.
anecdotes. Yeah,
Thank you. All right, learners, it's been a great learning time. Thank you so much, especially seeing you from joining all over the country. Got a good nostalgic feeling of different cities today. You free to ask one last question, Brian. Go ahead.
yeah. Brian has a lot of questions today. Brian, you can put your question on the chat.
Sure, Brian, we're waiting.
Uh, we're waiting. Yes.
All right, thank you, learners. Just in case you would like to have a question or something, listen to Brian. You're more than happy to wait over there. This one more, sir. I was wondering if motion graphics is helpful for UX. I would suggest Vedul begin with very easier and basic things which are easily, what do you say, implementable. For example, the
Hmm.
tools that we just saw. But if you're already in this profession, then go ahead with these things. Absolutely fine. But since you're switching to something like this, I would suggest your career will take you to that level.
Yeah.
Initially, you'll learn around simple tools that we saw. Your career itself will transition to something like motion graphics. Alternate apps of Figma that I should learn, Balsamic. Go ahead
Hmm.
and play around with Balsamic, Brian. You're gonna love it. Balsamic is much easier and less complicated than Figma. Although the applications are limited, but it's yes, it's 1 month free trial. Brian, go ahead and use that. Puneet, that would vary
Puneet.
depending on the last CTC that you have drawn. First thing.
Yeah.
Second, if you keep the last CTC as your base, expect at least 10 to 15% hike. At least you should ask for minimum 10 to 15% hike in the worst case scenario. All right. All right, learners. Thanks a lot
Great.
and
Thank
have
you.
a great time ahead. Thank you, Papanna. It's been a great learning session, learners. Thank you all. Good night.
Same as. Bye bye. Good night. And I'm also going to end the certificate poll in a while. How to get the certificate? Akash will receive it in the next couple of days. So we just collate the names and the email IDs along with the certificates, and then you should be receiving it by Friday. Okay, great. So I'm going to end this poll here. And like always, it was wonderful bringing this session. It was very interactive. All of you participated really well. I hope you found the session useful. I'll see you again another time. Bye bye then. Have a great day.